river I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change's gonna come.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report and the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
So did you catch that? What she says is you start out with something that's a lie, and you throw it out there, and then the press picks up on it, and they write stories about it, and you say, see, it's written in the press, so it must be true. This is exactly what they did with Trump. They demonized him. It was all fake about the Russian collusion. This is what they did with Kavanaugh. It was all fake about these women coming and saying that he did these things. The last one was even ludicrous, that Swetnick one. This is the situation we're dealing with. This is how these people work. They worked with the press to make it seem like what they were saying was legitimate. They tell the lies, the press reports the lies as if they were true. Truthification. They are trying to make fiction into truth, and that's what they do. So, I wanted you to see this. Please share this so people can see Pelosi is telling us exactly their tactic. This is like a page right out of the Democratic playbook. This is what they do. Thanks for stopping by. See you later.
To carry on. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
So there's a conspiracy theory that one of our viewers asked about. I just want to play that sound.
What would you say to the fringe portions of the public, like conspiracy theorists, that seem to think that you're somehow responsible for the outbreak?
You warned everybody about this in a TED Talk in 2015. You predicted this would happen.
If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war.
There is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
There's also a conspiracy theory that you're pushing vaccines because you're going to inject people with a tracking device when they get the vaccine.
We also have ambitious goals for getting vaccine coverage up.
The ultimate solution, the only thing that really lets us go back completely to normal, is to create a vaccine. Once you have a safe and effective vaccine and get that out to almost all of the people on the planet and build the preparatory systems for the next pandemic so you can nip it in the bud, we will go back to normal and economies will recover.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Chapter 24. And Jesus went out, and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. Then, if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the goodman of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter. Some of the great villains of the history of the church. The Puritans. raised by 3 travellers in 1934. I wonder whether those unlucky children who have to be in Great Ormond Street Hospital were allowed to sit up so they can say the nurse tomorrow.
design suggested.
Huh? Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool! Just like a movie! The robot will emerge dramatically, do some damage, thrones of screaming people, and just when all hope is lost, Syndrome will save the day! I'll be a bigger hero than you ever were.
You mean you killed off real heroes so that you could pretend to be one?
Oh, I'm real. Real enough to defeat you! And I did it without your precious gifts, your oh-so-special powers. I'll give them heroics. I'll give them the most spectacular heroics anyone's ever seen! And when I'm old and I've had my fun, I'll sell my inventions so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Bluebeam project. I talked to you about this, and on the bottom right, you can see the image of a spiral that appeared over northern Norway a couple of winters ago. And this was a revelation of the Bluebeam project as transmitted from satellites in orbit. And you can see on the top right there how that technology is accomplished through cameras and lenses, and actually using 3 different beams focused on the same point, which create a multi-dimensional image that looks very real. And you can even make them move. And you can even create religious figures in the sky that will actually speak to you in your mind using mind transfer technology. Because every word in every language has a particular frequency. So if you can translate each word from every language into a frequency and then transmit that frequency to your brain, you will hear commands in your own language that can usually take the sound of your own voice so that you think it's coming from you, or it can be changed to make it sound like the voice of a religious figure, political figure, etc. When the U.S. captured, I shouldn't say captured, but when they shot down a certain alien craft and some of the occupants were alive, many of these beings have no verbal language. It's only mind transfer. And so when the interrogators would sit with them and interrogate them, they would hear the answer in their mind in their own voice. So it was as if they were answering themselves. So it gets very complicated. And you will notice I use the word alien, not extraterrestrial. And I know I've mentioned this many times in many lectures, but for those who have not heard, there is a legal difference in the United States law between alien and extraterrestrial. By law, an alien is a physical being from this physical universe who is not from this planet. An extraterrestrial can be a borderline physical or non-physical being who may not necessarily be from this universe. So, by law, U.S. law, it's illegal for a U.S. citizen to have contact with an extraterrestrial. It does not say you cannot have contact with an alien. The reason is Alien contact can be monitored physically, extraterrestrial cannot. So it's illegal for you to communicate with them or contact. By interest on the same page of law, it's also illegal for U.S. citizens to have unsupervised contact with dolphins. They may tell you something that they don't want you to know.
America, follow this truth and no one will knock you down. Be gone with noise that has no matter. Jericho will bring forth the testament that reminds them to drop their swords and show who's the hero. So our gifted America can sing her song with pride and honor. And no man or woman will destroy God's creation, for this land is our life, and our greatest heroes protected this homeland with blood, sweat, and tears, with hands that built this planet of her greatness, with her integrity, with her knowledge. And to have left-wing behavior, left-wing danger destroying this nation, he will not allow, because my fellow Americans, God the Almighty gave all this to us. So we as a civilization, with all our greatness, must give back. And we shall protect the USA with God, and he who understands this liberty must protect as well. Let us all protect this beautiful nation. Let us all give back. We must not take for granted this breath we breathe, because without God's love, we would not be here. So bring back faith and trust. And don't forget that this November, we must vote to help keep President Trump in office so he can carry the torch for this land of the free. And my dear friends, Donald Trump will keep her flame alive, and he will protect the United States of America. God bless.